Hello everyone, I'm King Evolved and welcome to ARK 5 Evolved, and today we're going to be talking about the end of ARK Extinction. Now if you haven't seen it, I do recommend you go play it for yourself, but if you do, I'm going to play the ending right now, so yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Come on, take a look. It's finally begun. The arcs are coming home. Each one carries with it the seeds of new life. Plants, animals, and humans. And these seeds will take root across the far corners of the world. Once they do, all that life will be unleashed. From there, it will spread, grow, and thrive. And this planet, our home, will bloom once more. As for the rest of the infection, well, the ARKs can take it from here. In time, they'll purge every last bit of element from the soil. But make no mistake, this is all thanks to you. I'm just glad I got to see it. Oh, look at that. The sun's rising.
So now I'm going to be explaining basically what generally happened, and I'm going to get to the part where some people might be confused. And it's actually a really good teaser for, a bigger version of the game. So, what is the full ending on what this is? So, you kill the final boss, and now all the arcs are ascending down, or descending down onto Earth, and they're all becoming part of the Earth. Their shields are dropping from there. There's no longer a barrier. Now, this isn't really happening in game. It'd be cool, but, this is actually happening. But, yeah, all the arcs are coming to extinction, or Earth. They're here to heal the Earth, kind of like, the Wally, how in Wally, they all come back and then they start repopulating the world. I swear, they stole this from Wally now that I think about that. But, yeah, they take all of the stuff, and life has been sustained on the arcs until the Earth was ready. And now all the not extinction, element is being cleansed from the Earth. And yeah, but now let's get into really what the good part is. So, as we can tell, the arcs are saved, but what's that ending sequence? I'll play it again really quick. Now, I'm sure if you've played Aberration, you should very well recognize that roar. And I think those who do recognize it know what it is. All the arcs descended. All of them. Now, in story mode ARK, kind of like the story version of it, there's only one aberration. Because that was the only one that like got corrupted. That we know of, at least. There was other arcs that were different, and I'm assuming some were Ragnarok, the Center, and unknown ones. But they weren't part of the main story. But, like I was saying, Aberration came down too, but it wasn't a stable arc, so it just meteored down, and pieces of it was everywhere. As you can see in the bottom right, I want to say, you can see one of the terminals that where you would make element on Aberration. And in that roar, I'll compare it right now to when you spawn in Rockwell. They sound pretty similar to me. So, yeah. So basically what would happen is Rockwell isn't a one-note boss, like the majority of bosses. When I say one-note is they have one click, kind of like in a movie, in a superhero movie, how the villain only shows up once and then they never show up again. That's called a one-note character. Rockwell is no longer a one-note character. Well, if you want to get specific, he was a three-note character because Scorched Earth, the island, and then Aberration. But as a boss, he was a one-note boss. Now, he could be the next boss trying to, I don't know, take over the Earth or something. Trying to put corruption back into it. Because he's a giant squid monster. And you say, oh, you killed him at the end, though. He's infinite. Like, he's the boss. Let me tell you. So, in the end of Extinction, not Extinction, Aberration, in Helena's notes and the other notes, you know how like Helena left like the terminal notes kind of on Extinction, and you can find them on the island right now in Scorched Earth, Aberrations, there were some like those on Aberration for Rockwell that he left as like, you know, his like mutated form, saying that every time he dies, he just gets resummoned every time they want to fight the boss. In the story arc, nobody's defeated him because Helena and them got off another way. But you have to defeat him, of course. But you see where I'm going with this. Rockwell isn't dead. He was summoned, and he keeps getting resummoned every time he is killed. It's an infinite cycle. Just imagine that. You're infinitely getting killed over and over and over. You can't do anything about it. Because the ARK is controlling your fate. Kind of how you respawn, but his is a lot more treacherous, we could say. But that's the full point of it. Rockwell could be the new boss in a fourth DLC if they ever made one, or if they made a whole new game itself. I think that would be a cool idea. And I think that's what the teaser they dropped, they were aiming for. Because if you do look around in this final scene, you can kind of see that, well, there's Aberration stuff. The terminal on the right, the green terminal where you would make that stuff. And yeah, if you got any more suggestions, please put them down in the comments below. And I hope you got infinite cycle. Just imagine that. You're infinitely getting killed over and over and over. You can't do anything about it. Because the ARK is controlling your fate. Kind of how you respawn, but his is a lot more treacherous, we could say. But that's the full point of it. Rockwell could be the new boss in a fourth DLC if they ever made one, or if they made a whole new game itself. I think that would be a cool idea. And I think that's what the teaser they dropped, they were aiming for. Because if you do look around in this final scene, you can kind of see that, well, there's Aberration stuff. The terminal on the right, the green terminal where you would make that stuff. And yeah, if you got any more suggestions, please put them down in the comments below.